Hello everyone, Samaritan here, and today I'm bringing you a brand new video, and this is going to be a response to my free agency video that I posted yesterday. So basically, after the video was put out, I got a lot of messages. I got messages on Twitter as well as on Xbox, and it was a lot of people just coming to me saying I don't know how to get started. And then they would continue on to say, hey, maybe you can give me a shot. That way I can get like noticed. And that's the right mindset. But the thing that bothered me the most was probably, or not probably, but most definitely that it was they didn't know. They didn't know. They didn't have the information or the knowledge to go forward in their competitive pursuit. So I really wanted to make a video just talking about my experience and give different resources to you guys so that instead of like maybe you're one of those people who were afraid of asking and didn't want to look dumb, this is your chance. I'm giving you the information, and for people who don't know now, in case you're interested. So my experience started off with Call of Duty. I was in COD for a really long time up until this last uh, year or two. It might be 2 years. I think it's 1 year. I don't really know. I don't really remember. But so I played Call of Duty, and the way that you announce free agency was through Twitter. Like you announced it, you would tweet a bunch of um, Twitter accounts that were like for retweets, so they would retweet anything that had to do with like free agent if you just added them, and I think you also had to like follow them is like one of the parts as well. But it would get your name out there because they would have a whole lot of followers, and like those followers were also free agents who were looking for a team or teams of three that were looking for one. So that's really how I started all this, and I've been doing this since COD Ghost really, and that's wild now thinking about it. Um, so transferring that to Halo, when I first got in, I didn't have to really worry about it because I knew Cole in them. But after the kind of I want to say Fallout, which kind of what it was of the Chaotix team, where it was myself, Seth. Dallas and Cole. Once that team just kind of like disbanded because people started doing YouTube and whatnot, which is that again, that's fine. But since people started going their different ways, and I still wanted to compete, I didn't know where to go to. Like I knew that Twitter was a thing, but since Halo 5 was had just come out and the population still wasn't that big, there wasn't many Twitters that like showed like free agency and whatnot. So I really didn't know where to go, and it honestly just came down to me going to like pro player streams and asking, hey, like what's the best way I can find a team. So I remember I was in Snakebite stream, and this is whenever he was still on CLG, and I was talking to him through the chat, and I asked, hey, I'm a new player, I never really been on Halo and tried this competitively. Like, where can I find players? And what he told me was to look on the Team Beyond forum. So I went on there, and it like gives you like a whole like uh, I guess a rubric of how to post yourself. So like I think it tells you like what's your name, what's your gamer tag, and like what rank you are, what you want to play for, like competitive or just arena or some casual. So it's very thorough. I really like it. And one thing uh, that really helped me is that like I was able to put like what skill level I was. So I looked on like arena, and at that time I was like I was a diamond player. I think I was like diamond 3 or something like that. Uh, and uh, a lot of people answered back, so that was one way that I learned how to like go about um, looking for new teammates. The other thing that I did is when Cole's videos started like popping off on Reddit, so he would have it posted on r slash competitive Halo. I once I saw that, I went on there and I was able to see a thread that had one just for free agents. Like you could just like talk about I am like this player. I'm this age. You know, you give a little description of yourself, which kind of reminded me of like going on the MLG forums, which was something else that I did um, back in Ghost, and I would like post and like say like on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you in like hardpoint and whatnot, and search and destroy things like that, and you give a brief description of yourself. So I found something like that in r slash competitive Halo, which is a Reddit forum, and through that it had a thread. So that was another way that I was able to find players that were more my skill level. And then after that, after a while, I started following like more free agents. So by talking to them and seeing what they're doing, like how they've posted in the past, they showed me like Twitters that were like very active, and were like constantly retweeting people because they wanted to see the community grow and really wanted to get like uh, that competitiveness like out and on Twitter, which was really great. And the first Twitter account that I saw was Miss Ninjutsu. I think he's now Primal Ninjutsu, but he's been at a ton of LAN events, and like he's a really cool guy for like holding his own kind of like reputation, as well as retweeting all these people who are trying to make it out here. And that's really what we're all trying to do. We're just trying to make something out of this video game. And um, those are the three things that I have learned to use since I started playing Halo competitively, and I went on my own. Now, uh, the last thing that I want to talk about is that uh, people might see this and be like, "Oh, well, I still don't really know like how to get started. Like, is there any way that I can get a boost? Is there any way that I can get to point A to point B faster?" And the only way that I can help you without doing one-on-ones with every single one of you, which would be really difficult and really time consuming. And I wish that I could, but I can't because I want to compete myself. Uh, the one thing that I can say is that there are videos on Cole's channel. He has like a playlist of tips, strafes, an updated one, shot. He has a new video about his Magnum and like what he does to like warm himself up, and things that he does. I'm pretty sure you can like substitute some things with the social playlists that are now here. And he has like jump videos. Like if you aren't like aware of like how to get around the map the fastest, like those are videos that you want to look at. So uh, those are things to keep in mind. And uh, no matter who you ask, we all started from the bottom. And whenever people say I don't know how to get started, you just go. You get as much information as you can from other people, and you run with it. So that's going to be it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video and learned something from this. I'm going to be leaving a link to the Twitter account that I mentioned, the Reddit forum that I mentioned, and the Team Beyond forum that I also mentioned. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.